Hey, what's up, guys? NullRage here, and today we're taking a look at the design review for Daredevil. We've got Marvel's Daredevil Season 2 coming out on Netflix this Friday, and I am so excited, and I know several of you will be as well. And in celebration of that, the developers over at Gazillion have chosen to review Daredevil in game and make some minor changes. Well, some of them bigger than others. We'll go through it all and sort of pretend he's a brand new character. This isn't a 52 review, those are all done. This is just sort of a design update to make him play and feel a bit better. First things first, we're going to get into his synergies remain the same. And keep in mind, this is a very early look at the character. Things will change with the coming week. He's not even like on the same character yet. He's still like very early design update preview kind of stuff. All right. So first things first, she's got this stamina bar. You can see it swirling around. I don't know if the animation is gonna stay like this. It's a very interesting and unique and active animation. We'll see if it maintains this or if we get something a little bit more Daredevil style. I don't know. This seems a little out of place, but still pretty cool. So I'm fine either way. The next thing we're gonna look at is we've got two sections here with specializations. Now, this one, Devils of Hell Kitchen, it's just one of your it's a passive effect that increases your damage output, and it has an active effect that you get to choose. So it's not really character defining, but this one right here, the specialization for radar sense, will define how you play Daredevil. So depending on which one of these specializations you choose, you will want to choose your skills differently to fit these. We've got three here. The first one is Combo Fighter, and it's going to focus mostly on building up your combo points with Apprehend and Sliding Strike and some of your openers here, and then spending them for higher damage on finishers. Not quite as much, because you can build combo points faster than in the next one that we'll go over. And then you're going to use Tornado Kick after that for even more damage. Then Drawn Out Brawl is going to use, again, these opener skills to build combo points, and then use your finishers for huge increased damage, and then Tornado Kick afterwards. You're always going to Tornado Kick after you use the finisher. But every time that you spend combo points, you're going to reduce the cooldown on your Devil's Due. However, you generate combo points much slower than you would in Combo Fighter. So it's sort of a trade-off there, and if you want to do a boss fight thing, this might be good because you're going to be using your signature a lot more, and the signature always does more damage. And then finally, there's Street Fighter, which is going to allow you to completely negate the combo points system. Combo points are removed, and finisher powers just have a 4-second cooldown and are always treated as if they had 5 combo points. That is probably going to be one of the things that I play with, because I personally am not a fan of combo characters. Building up these combo points to hit maximum and then use a finisher type skill. I don't know. Something about it doesn't really mesh with me. She-Hulk, Luke Cage, and Daredevil before now, it wasn't really my style. So I'm glad to see that I now have an option for Street Fighter. Alright, let's jump in and look at the skills entirely, and then we'll see each of these three specializations and how they work. Alright, first up we've got Assault and Battery. This is still a basic ability, but because of the fact that his spirit has been replaced by stamina, basic abilities are not, they don't do as little damage as some other characters' basic abilities do. They're actually something you want to use in your end-game rotation. You don't want to try and build away from your basic. Let me put these on the bar. And keep in mind that a lot of these animations are very early, very concept stage. Alright, so we've got Assault and Battery here. It's going to do some physical damage. It's going to generate 1 combo point and restore stamina when you hit. And you can see that radar ping whenever I max out my combo points. We'll be seeing that a lot. Alright, so that's your Assault and Battery. Next we've got Apprehend. pretty much the same as a lot of this stuff is visually the same and mechanically the same. It just sort of works better. Apprehend, it's going to, I think, pull people in. Yeah, drags them toward you with your club. And physical damage applies a weaken and generates 2 combo points. There's that right there. It's just real quick. 4-second cooldown. Pull them in so you can smack them down kind of move. Alright, then we've got Staff Strike. It's going to do physical damage and restore stamina. It does have a slightly higher stamina restoration amount, but it does have a lower attack speed than Assault and Battery. So look. I like the it's got an arc to the, you can see I'm hitting this guy over here. It's got a little bit of a splash kind of 360 kind of thing going on, or well, not 360. Seem to just attack a little bit. Yeah, okay. It's got a little bit of cleave to it, and I like that. I feel the animations here are very stiff, but then, you know, he's using a staff. That's sort of how they work as far as what I've seen in staff-based martial arts and all that. They're very, very staff, very, very stiff, very precise movements. So I kind of like that. I still think it could be cleaned up just a little bit, but we'll see. Now we've got Sliding Strike. Physical damage and generates 1 combo point plus 2 additional combo points if you have none. This is going to be one of those great skills to use after you've used one of your finisher. I'm just going to clear out my points here so we can see the combo points get generated by where was it? Sliding Strike. So if you have none, then you're going to generate 3, and of course Apprehend uses 2. So using both of those right after one another is going to fill your combo point bar, allowing you to use that finisher real quickly. And because of the 4-second cooldown on those, you'll then want to smack with your basic ability to generate back up, and then those will be off cooldown. So you sort of have this alternating rotation if you're playing this first spec, or I don't think there's any benefit to playing no spec. I don't think that has a benefit. But if you're doing combo fighter here, then you've got this alternating rotation that you go into. It's pretty cool. Let's see. Yep, clear out those combo points. All right, and then finally we've got Devil's Due, which is functionally an, well, no, I'm skipping over Nunchuck Beatdown. Here we go. Nunchuck Beatdown. This is faster attack speed, more combo points generated each time by using this. You know, you'll generate them a lot quicker, but you won't restore as much stamina. But here's Nunchuck Beatdown. You can see the combo point gain is a lot faster. Let me just clear out that. There you go. You can get combo points going out real quick. So this would sort of be the one you'd want to use if you were doing combo fighter, I feel, because it's going to generate those combo points faster and get you into your finishers much quicker. But if you're doing drawn out brawl, then you pretty much have your pick, whichever one you want to use here. You may want to use Staff Strike because it's going to get more damage per hit, but because you're limited on how many combo points you can generate, you can only generate 1 combo point per second. One combo point per second from basic abilities, or openers rather. So you'd want to go Staff Strike so you get more damage. Alright, let's turn that off. Let's go into Acrobatic Roll. Now, most of this, oh, he's got his cable swing is new, I believe. Alright, first things first is we've got Action Roll, remains mostly the same, increases your movement speed, has a slight knockdown to it. There you go. Nothing too fancy there. Next thing is the Heroic Leap is now just a 1-point skill. You can't actually put points into this, and you have it by default. So they've maintained this leap, this little bunny hop thing that he does. I don't know why he's like screeching in pain every time he moves. I don't know. But you do have this Heroic Leap ability. I guess they thought they were maybe going to get rid of it. They didn't want it to be a full. There's nobody ever puts points into this Heroic Leap skill. So they just capped it at 1 and left it there. So you always have it. All right, next we've got Rebounding Club. This is going to be your vulnerability applicator. You're going to want to use this pretty much every rotation, every 8 seconds to keep that vulnerability up, and then it's also got a bleed effect on it. It is similar to one of the skills that I think they did for Green Goblin or somebody recently, where it's got charges. Instead of having its own cooldown, it just generates gain 1 charge every 2 seconds. So it's sort of got a 2-second cooldown, but there's 2 charges. So it's more like I guess a 1 second cooldown or something like that. Anyway, it applies that vulnerability real quick, and there you can see the. Now I can throw out both of them real quick, and then they'll both come back. And so if I was just spamming this, it has about a 1 second, 1.5 second cooldown or something like that. But I can let it charge up, and I can throw out 2 at once. And of course, that is going to bleed everything that it hits. If you're in Midtown or doing any other AoE content, it's going to be a great skill. And you'll want to use it on bosses anyway, just for the vulnerability application at least once during your general rotation. Next, we've got Club Sweep. This is going to be a physical damage and does 50% 50% additional damage against weakened enemies. Also has a knockdown component on it. There you go. It's got a huge AoE going on here, but it does spend stamina. You can see I only able to use it about 4 times before I was barely able to move, as Daredevil so aptly described there. But you do get your stamina back pretty quickly. You can just do that, and then hit with one of your basics real quick to get that stamina back up. No big issue. Alright, moving on, we've got Cable Swing. Now this is going to be right now it is pretty much a direct copy of what Spider-Man does. Let me see if I can get that nameplate out of the way so you can get a better idea of the animations here. Show my overhead spirit bar, let's just turn all this stuff off. There we go. Alright, there we go. Now that nameplate's out of the way. So, don't zoom in so far. There we go. Very similar to what Spider-Man does, and it's very cool. I'd like to see some more Daredevil-ish style put in here, but I'm not exactly sure how that would, how you would do that. But still, very cool movement ability for Daredevil. Alright, next we've got Radar Sense. Now we talked about this being tied to the specializations. We'll go over the full specializations at the end here, but just for Radar Sense, this is your defensive passive. It's going to increase your damage reduction a little bit. It's going to give you some deflect, some total deflect, some dodge, and all that jazz. There's the scaling on that. It is also your CC breaker, so you will want to have this somewhere in the bar so you can break out a CC whenever you. I love this animation for his CC breaker, by the way. Very different from a lot of the others. Ooh, I'm a ghost kind of CC breaker animations that they do. Instead, he just sort of glows blue. I like that. I like that a lot. I'd like to see more. CC breakers get a bit more subtle in their animations, because I feel, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I feel those Spirit of the Cheetah ghost effects or whatever, they're kind of, I don't like them. I don't like them. We'll just leave it at that. Alright, Relentless Justice is very similar to, I think Wolverine's got something like this. I think Colossus has something like this. Gambit, yeah, this is straight out of Gambit's playbook, except Gambit runs around with the staff and all. Now, honestly, this animation looks a bit silly to me. But so maybe, I don't know, make it a bit more something. It just seems he's running around flailing his nunchucks. I don't necessarily like it. Anyway, but it's going to do physical damage 4 times per second. I probably won't use this. Even if it had an awesome animation, I probably wouldn't really use it. I'd stick to the more combo-based stuff or finisher-based stuff or whatever, and just throw in my rebounding club. Anytime I need to use AoE on Daredevil, it's always been rebounding club, and it doesn't look like that's going to change anytime soon. It's a pretty great skill. So, but for those of you who just want like one button running through Midtown, there's Relentless Justice. Alright, finally we get over here to Fighting Focus, and we can talk about his finishers and how they work. We've got Jumping Strike here, and then I'm going to go ahead and put Tornado Kick here, and you'll see why in a minute. He's got 3 regular finishers. These are Jumping Strike, Whirling Club, and Street Sweeper. Actually, let me... yeah, that's got him. And we're just going to turn on Street Fighter so I can look at the finishers a little bit better. The idea of Daredevil is to build up your combo points and then use a finisher, unless you're doing Street Fighter, which just puts all your finishers on a 4-second cooldown. So his first finisher is Jumping Strike. It's going to do physical damage and 25% increased damage per combo point spent. It also has a 10% increased critical chance per combo point spent. And so generally you're going to be using this at 5 combo points if you're doing either one of these 2 specializations, or if you're doing Street Fighter, it automatically uses it at 5 combo points. So you're always going to have that, huge amount of increased damage and critical chance increased as well. 50% increased critical chance. So there's Jumping Strike. Right there. It's pretty simple. It does move you pretty decent ways. If you're far away from the target, like I am from this target dummy way over here, then I will jump all the way to that target. Or it can be used at very close range to just smash the dude over the head. Pretty nice finisher. And then, now using any of these finishers, this Jumping Strike, Whirling Club, or Street Sweeper, then unlocks Tornado Kick to be used. Tornado Kick is... I'd call it a follow-up skill more than a finisher. It is tagged as finisher, but you can't use it unless you've already used one of your other finishers. It's going to do physical damage, and it's always going to Brutal Strike. That's one of the great things about this. Can only be activated within 3 seconds of performing a finisher at maximum combo points. So you have to have max combo points. Thankfully, because we're in Street Fighter, we will always have those max combo points. But if you're doing either one of these, you'll have to build up those combo points first, and then use a finisher, then use Tornado Kick. But it is all worth it. There's Tornado Kick right there. Huge damage, and they've even increased the updated the animation. There's a scene at the end of episode 2 of Daredevil season 1 in which he pulls out this ridiculous roundhouse kick at the end of the fight, and it was amazing. So I love that they're referencing the incredible fight scene at the end of episode 2 there in this Tornado Kick. Probably one of the best fight scenes in a TV series that I've seen or had seen to date. I've been watching Black Sails, and there's some pretty awesome stuff goes down in that show too. But it's not your typical fight scene. Anyway, I'm getting too sidetracked on fight choreography in films. Anyway, let's move on to Whirling Club. This is going to do some physical damage and increased damage per combo point spent. Also has a slow component to it, so any enemies you hit are going to be slowed. Let's see, stamina cost. Oh, it has a stamina cost to it, so if I... does it? Does it? It may only have a stamina cost if I'm in one of these other specs. It says it has a stamina cost. So then the stamina cost is reduced per combo point spent. Oh, I know. Because I'm spending all of my combo points. But if I were to just, spend it with no combo points, you can actually spend these finishers without any combo points. Why would you want to? You want to have those combo points. But every combo point you have is going to reduce the cost of Whirling Club here. Alright, let's see if we can go back to... we'll just stick with this. Alright, Street Sweeper is your next one. We're going to come back to Devils of Hell's Kitchen in a minute. But we'll want to talk about all of these first. Street Sweeper is your next direct damage finisher, and it's going to cause you to bounce between enemies, smacking them all, and doing some physical damage. It does physical damage per hit. It hits a maximum enemies of 3. I think only the damage increases with points put in, so it's always going to be 3 enemies. And then plus 1 per combo point spent, so a total of 8 enemies, I guess, if you use it at maximum combo points. Let's just go ahead and there we go. And then it also does increase damage per combo point spent, like all other finishers. So here we go. You can see it hit a number of enemies, but if you use it with no combo points, you're just going to hit these 3 guys, so not too impressive. But if you use it with maximum combo points, you're going to hit everybody around you. Alright, and then of course, all of that unlocks Tornado Kick. Now we've got Devils of Hell Kitchen. It's and I saved this for last because it's got this specialization here, and you have to choose how you want to use it. Now it is a finisher, so it will scale based on combo points, I think, or at least this one will. We'll see about the others. Let's look at Born Again. It's going to be your damage increase passive, so you're pretty much always going to want to pump it up as high as you can to get that increased damage on your melee powers, increased critical hit rating, increased critical damage, and attack and move speeds. And then it's got an active effect, which you're going to want to choose one of these 3 specializations for. The Born Again active effect causes Devils of Hell Kitchen can be activated to restore health and energy for a medium duration. So we've got regenerates health per second and restores 100 or 10% of your maximum stamina per second. The buff duration is increased by 1 second, or is 1 second plus an additional 1 second for each combo point spent. Total of 6 seconds there if you're at maximum combo points. It has a cooldown of 10 seconds. That's some pretty good uptime if you're in a very damage intensive fight, like for instance the first fight in Axis with the Sentinels, where there's a lot of damage incoming and you need to regen all of that HP back. Then this could be a very good, just swap it out. Normally you'll probably be using Blind Justice, but just swap back to Born Again and use this every cooldown to keep your HP at max. It also have the added benefit of increasing your stamina regen as well. Then we've got Ignore Pain, which will cause you to become invulnerable for a short duration. You can see there. Oh, I moved my mouse. Alright, gain invulnerability. Buff duration is 0.3 seconds plus an additional 0.3 seconds for each combo point spent. So what is that? 1.5 and then 1.8. So a very short invulnerability. It's basically only going to be useful for again, to use Axis, the last fight against Onslaught, if you get trapped on one of the platforms when one of the purple balls is about to explode, and it's an insta-kill mechanic. You can use this invulnerability, of course, to evade that insta-kill mechanic. Things that will guaranteed kill you, or high damage abilities, you can use this to immune through those. Surtur has a where he raises his sword up in the air and slams it down and kills anybody that's not hidden behind a rock. You can use this to immune through that. So that could be a pretty good one. Ignore Pain there. Or what most people will likely choose is Blind Justice, which is the Devils of Hell Kitchen can be activated to increase damage, critical chance, and brutal strike chance for a long duration. This is going to be 5% increase in damage, a critical hit, and a brutal strike increase 5%. And then the buff duration is 2 seconds plus an additional 2 seconds for each combo point spent. What is that? 12 seconds, and then it's only got a cooldown of 10 seconds, so you've got 100% uptime on this Blind Justice, on this increase in damage output. This, of course, using this skill, let's just be 100% sure before I tell you guys something that might be a lie. Alright, I'm at 5 combo points, and if I use Devil Hell Kitchen, yes, I can use Tornado Kick directly afterwards. So it does, it does count as a finisher. It does trigger the ability to use Tornado Kick. So likely what you'll do if you're building for a combo-based ability build is combo fighter or something like that. You'll use one or two of these skills, and then you'll use Devil Hell Kitchen and Tornado Kick. So you'll choose either Jumping Strike or Whirling Club or Street Sweeper or maybe two of them. I'm not exactly sure if you'll need more than one finisher. You probably just need the one finisher, especially if you're doing these. If you're doing Street Fighter, then you're going to use a number of finishers, probably two of them, and then your other abilities: Rebounding Club, Devil's Due. Let's just sort of put together a build here. Let's do a combo fighter thing. Let's see. So I'm doing combo fighter. I want nunchuck. Let's do a rebounding club for the vulnerability. Let's do. You're definitely gonna want your Devil's Due every cooldown. You're gonna want your jumping strike, your tornado kick, and let's put that there. There we go. All right. So this is what I think the sort of setup for combo fighter would look like. You're going to have your basic ability to build combos here. Wait a minute, I have forgotten something entirely. Sliding Strike and Apprehend are very nice for generating combos. So this is a little bit high maintenance playstyle. You may not want to use these, but what you could do theoretically is something like this. Yeah, there we go. How we'll have, you start off, you clear your combo points, and you're going to open up with Sliding Strike to Apprehend. Sorry, I missed. I was going to hit this guy, and I missed. Let's clear those combo points again. You're going to go Sliding Strike to Apprehend. That's going to pull them in. You're at max combo points. Then you'll Jumping Strike, then Tornado Kick. Then you'll hit them with combo points, and then use Hell's Kitchen and that right there. Sort of working through this a little bit slowly. The deal is these have 4-second cooldowns, and if you're doing your rotation optimally, then they're not going to be up every time that you need to generate combo points. So you're going to have to use that nunchuck beatdown for one rotation, and then use the Sliding Strike Apprehend to get your combo points to 5 to clear them with Jumping Strike. As you can see, this is why I don't play the combo point type build with Daredevil. Alternatively, if you're doing drawn out brawl, you'll probably want a similar skill setup to what you're doing with combo fighter. It'll mostly be the same, but instead of trying to build and then finish as quickly as possible, you're going to take a much more elongated approach to it and try and use Devil's Due every time it's up, because every time that you spend combo points via this Jumping Strike here, you're going to reduce the cooldown of Devil's Due. So you want to start off probably with Devil's Due or something like that just to put it on cooldown, and that's going to max you out at 5 combo points. You're going to spend them and reduce the cooldown automatically by 5 seconds, and then build up some combo points with your basic abilities, and then spend them anytime you have 5. And every time you spend 5 combo points, you're going to reduce the cooldown on Devil's Due by 5 seconds. That'll be really nice for long fights, because you'll get to use your signature, which is your highest damaging ability, many more times over the course of a fight. Or you can use Street Fighter. Now this is you're gonna build mostly using Jumping Strike, or Rebounding Club for the vulnerability, Jumping Strike, and maybe Street Sweeper. Probably Whirling Club. Depends on whether you're doing. I'm putting these on the. There we go. You'll have, instead of having a left click here, a opener or something like that, you might have the club, or you might have something else. You might actually just do finishing abilities, because if I put all of these on the bar here, see, I have, yeah. Now if I do Street Sweeper, then I can actually do this, No, 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 no. I'm doing it wrong. All right. 3, 4, 1, 4, 2, 4. You'll notice every time that I use one of these finishers, I can use Tornado Kick again. And Tornado Kick is your well, second to your signature. In fact, it may even surpass your signature. It is your highest damaging ability because it always deals a brutal strike and it has a huge base damage on it. Now, granted, it is only usable after you use one of your finishers. So that could be pretty cool, building around that. And there we go. Then we'll Tornado Kick every time, and by the time that I get all the way around, my cooldowns have come off of Street Sweeper, Jumping Strike, and Whirling Club, so I can just keep up that rotation, sort of the way Iron Fist plays, actually. I can just keep up that rotation of going back and through skills and using my finishers, and it could be a really interesting playstyle. You'll of course want to weave in Devil of Hell's Kitchens in there somewhere, and Devil's Due as well for increased damage output. Anyway, that was a little bit too in depth. Their look at the new Daredevil. Remember, this is we should look at his ultimate here to see if it has changed. I don't even know. I haven't looked at it yet, so let's find out. I'm just gonna. Yep. It looks like it has remained the same. I mean, it was pretty amazing. Let's be honest. That was awesome. So I don't think that would need any improvements. And we've, of course, got Elektra coming out here. She is getting her own playable character soon, so I'd like to see if we could get some of the voice acting from the playable Elektra pulled into his ultimate, so it just has a little bit more immersion, ambiance, whatever you want to call it. It just makes that skill a little bit cooler. But overall, pretty great skill anyway, so I'm happy with it. Alright guys, that was a look at the new Daredevil review. Did I mention his costume gets updated? This is just his basic costume, and it has been updated quite a bit. It looks a hell of a lot cooler than it did before. So that is awesome. Alright guys, let me know what you thought about this look at Daredevil, what you think about the character and the changes coming to it. Remember, this is all very early, so if you have any feedback, I'm going to link a thread in the comments, so be sure to head to that thread on the Marvel Heroes forums and let the devs know about your feedback. And keep in mind, this is still early, so things can change. In fact, if you leave feedback, you can be a part of that change. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take it easy, have a good one, peace.